Record, and it says recording. We're recording. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the Zoom call for Dancing with the Devil with Manjeet Khalsa. I am so excited that you're all here. So if you're not familiar with Manjeet, let me tell you a little bit about her. Manjeet has been a facilitator of consciousness for 10 plus years. She has been leading workshops and retreats and online classes. How did we get so lucky? She is also the creator and CEO of Shopping for Your Future and Dating Deliciously. In short, Manjeet is a conscious diva, lover of life who is living an inspired life and invites others to live an inspired life too. I am so happy. How did we get so lucky, you guys? Seriously. So in this free Zoom, we are going to look at 8 ways to unlock your personal dance with the devil. And I can't wait. So let's dive right in, Manjeet.
Oh, you're so gorgeous. Oh my God. Did she not sound like she was a radio presenter and all of that? How good was that? Well, I'm so grateful that we're all here. And this call, this dance, this play with the devil has been percolating in my universe for quite some time. And I'm assuming when you guys saw the title, it had something about it. And that's something about it that tugged you in, that pulled you in, was your knowing, was that level of consciousness that knew that somewhere this dance that we're doing is actually not the contribution. It's not the infinite possibilities. It's not the space of you being you. And hence we're here. So today I'd love to talk about what is your unique dance with the devil, and where did we even start with this? This has been like totally like a space I've been playing with and questioning. And every time something comes up, I'm like, wow, we dance in this space of so many things that are not us. So let's just start by asking some questions because I want to bring up some energy, and we're only together for sort of 40 minutes or so. What is your dance with the devil? What do you see your dance to be? So let me just define what I meant by dancing with the devil. So anytime you're not being peace, tranquility, space, and there's a flow, and there's a being, and there's those moments when nothing seems impossible, and there's not even a space for you to conclude or to judge. And we all might have had those in moments when we're doing some body work, or we're in meditation, or we're out, in nature. And we've had moments of those. So everybody knows what that is. So when you're not being that, that is the dance with the devil. So what is your unique dance with the devil? And what percentage of your lives do you live in the dance? And what percentage of your lives do you live in the possibility? And this is not about right or wrong. This is about creating awareness. So you get to have a look at what is going on for you and where you're at in your dance. Because the purpose of consciousness and the purpose of any of this work that we all do is to try and have more of that, to try and get to the space where all of life is ease, all of life is joy, and all of life is glory. I think that's why I'm committed to this work. It's like, when we have those moments where everything is sparkly in its possibility, that's the knock on the door from consciousness, letting you know this is possible. And we've just forgotten in the dance that could even exist as a reality. So what is your unique dance with the devil? So we're going to start off with 3 things that primarily happen to people at the beginning of time that set you up to start doing this dance. So you might want to grab some pen and paper and just use this as an awareness exercise as well. So you're born in the world, and you come in and you're this beautiful, cute little baby with all of this possibility and all of this love and this huge space of this world. And you have no idea what's going to happen. You're totally open. And then, drum roll, something happens. Something happens. And this is usually when you're very, very, very young. And you realize something's wrong. Something's really, really wrong. Now, if you're really, really young, this might be before language, and it might be a sense you have in your body. It might be a conversation you're aware of. It might have been an energy. So get out your notes and pads and just your pens and papers and write down, how old were you when you knew something was wrong? Wow. Something's wrong in the world, something's wrong in your home, something's wrong with you, something's just wrong. Did everybody get an age? You can write in the comments. Yeah, 2 years, somebody's put. Awesome. Before two, 4. So very, very, very early on, something super wrong. So here we began the dance with the devil. This whole idea that something is wrong. What started to be created from that point of view? Who did you become when something was wrong? Cool. I can really feel the energy already on this call. It's like this heaviness of everybody just, and you got it when you're a baby, you all perceive that energy, right? Like zero, there's this space and there's this energy, and then all of a sudden, bam, something's wrong. And it really is like that, and something shifts. And Jennifer put, she became watchful, vigilant, wrong, fixing everything. Okay, so this is where you began the dance with the devil. Alrighty, so all of that, we're not going to be clearing that today. We're just going to be talking about the energies. And I want you, even after this call, whether you join us for the 3-part series or not, is to play with this. Start to become aware. Like, when did I start dancing with the dance of wrongness? And as we know, where there's wrongness, there's the polar opposite of rightness. So how much of your existence became this dance back and forth, right and wrong, I'm right, you're wrong, this is right, this is wrong, this is good, this is bad. This is where it started to start. And you start this cha-cha with right and wrong, with this polarity that didn't exist before something happens. Awesome. So that's your first dance with the devil. You start to learn to do cha-cha. So your life right now is still playing in that dance, the dance of right and wrong. Whether it's the rightness of your point of view or the wrongness of somebody else's or the wrongness of their point of view, and whatever that is, how wrong is your business? How right is your business? How right is your body? How wrong is your body? How right is your home and your money flows? Where are you still playing this dance of right and wrong? Joanne's put, I was confused why everybody around wasn't happy. How can I make them happy? Yeah, so being unhappy, did that become a wrongness? Or was that an awareness of something else? So this is the thing, it got bastardized, and all of these beautiful energies that we came into the world with, these possibilities that we came into the world with, kind of got crushed by the sense of something was wrong. Awesome. All right, so let's fast forward a little bit along the timeline. So you've been walking around with something's wrong, something's wrong, something's wrong. And the impact of this a little bit later on, you look around and you think, holy shit, I just don't belong here. So how many of you had the sense of, I just don't belong? I don't belong in school. I don't belong with this family. I don't belong on this planet. So how old were you when that dance with the devil started? So first came, something's wrong. Second came, I don't belong. 6, yeah. It's usually a little bit older. You've got a little bit of a concept because you're trying to work out right and wrong, right and wrong, right and wrong, which, by the way, none of you guys functioned from. Alexandra got was before I was born. So yeah, I don't belong. So now your cha-cha just included a whole different dance of I don't belong. So now you've got a little drum beating in the background too. That's proving to you how little you fit in, how little you're appreciated, you're valued. What do you start to become when you realize you didn't belong? Who did you start to become? Black sheep. Yep. Wow. I think everybody on this call can completely relate to that. Awkward, shy, friendly, smiley, pleasing. All of a sudden, you're now trying to prove the opposite, which is, what can I do to belong? So what did you start doing to prove that you do belong, or trying to belong? That experience of, please be my friend, please include me, please see me, please hear me. Wow, I thought this was just going to be an intro call. I'm like, my tummy is in knots now. I pretended I was dumb. Yes, I started playing down, taking blame. Wow. Started to be a chameleon. This is awesome. So do you guys start to see how many dances you're doing? So not only have you started dancing with the devil from the moment you decided something was wrong, you now started to learn different ways to dance. Okay, so the beat starts to flow faster. So then you do this dance. Then it starts to flow slower. So you do this dance. And none of this is the dance of you being. All of this was created. All right, let's fast forward along the timeline now. So you've been wrong. You figured everything out. It's right and wrong, and you're playing that game. Then you've layered it on top of I don't belong. And then fast forward, what happens? Late teens, early 20s, you wake up one day, and then there's just this pang across your chest of, I'm all alone. How old were you when that pang hit you across the chest of, Jesus, I'm all alone? Cool. Yeah. So for most people, it was about 12, just starting to become a teenager. It makes sense now, right? Like, so that's a different dance. So from that dance, when you figured out you were alone, or had the awareness you were alone, what dance did you start dancing then? Who did you start to become with that point of view? Yeah, you became the introvert. I actually became the extrovert. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I became the extrovert. I figured out you guys would never believe this about me, but I was so shy, and I started to practice in front of the mirror how to speak to people because I felt so alone. And I thought the only way to connect with people was through speaking, talking, engaging. Yeah, Audrey got smaller again. Alexandra said she started to focus on everything outside of me. Yeah, completely true. So just from what we've been speaking about, this was just to start highlighting to you guys, like, what is my dance? What is my unique dance? What is my unique blueprint of dancing with the devil? And the purpose of bringing up all of these energies, and I wanted to break it down into those 3 specific categories, because truly, hold on. Sherry, could you do me a little favor, sweetheart? I think when we're recording this, it's just going to be you. So can you just go into the right-hand corner and take it off speaker view? I don't think we've seen anybody else. And just put it on like the whole group. I just realized that. Oh, okay.
Is it fixed?
It seems to be just on you.
Oh.
Let me unhost you. Hold on. Let me see if I can do
Okay.
it. Oh, I can't do that. Okay.
Okay. So,
there should be gallery view in the right-hand corner. Sorry, you guys, and we're recording this. I'm sorry, everybody listening to this too. I didn't give Cherry a crash course on Zoom, and all of a sudden she's the host.
Show my video in gallery view. Got it.
Gallery? Yeah. Do gallery. Awesome. So everybody watching, I'm so sorry that you've just been listening to just Cherry on the screen. But here we are. We're all here. There's a lot of us. So that dance with the devil, the reason I wanted to break it down into those 3 distinct distinctions was so you could start to see that they're all really age appropriate. So how do we now start getting out of this dance? Okay, so there's a particular dance we do, And when we start to do these particular dances, they're actually related to a particular age. So hopefully that makes sense. So first key to unlocking absolutely anything in your entire world is getting an awareness, is becoming aware of where you're functioning from. And if you can go to the space of where it was created, you and I know we can actually change the molecules and shift the energy of where it started. So that's why I wanted to give you guys, even if you don't join the call, is to give you guys a snippet of those 3 moments where you can then start identifying, do what you want with this, but start identifying when did wrong and right start playing out. So the other day, like I went into this entire space where I was making somebody else wrong and me right. And I thought, wow, okay, that is the first dance with the devil. That was stage 1 of the dance. Okay, how old was I? All right, I was 2 years old. So in that moment, when I'm doing this right or wrong, I'm actually behaving like a 2-year-old because it activates that energy from that timeline. Cool. We've already got people starting to yawn. And from that, I'm going to give you a little exercise. We're not going to be able to clear all of this today, but what I would like to do is a couple of exercises that you can start doing and start putting into your world and your existence that starts to unlock all of this. Okay, so step 1 was to become aware. That's why we did just what we just did. So you're aware of when, you're aware of how, and you will have stories to go with that. So it's like, what happened to make you realize something was wrong? What happened? That would be your first question, to actually start looking at what happened. And then have a look at in your life where that is still happening. Where are those conversations still existing? Where are those energies still playing out? Where are you still relating to it as a 2-year-old? So this is all awareness activities. And then you got to like 5 or 6 and you realize, I don't belong. Holy shit, I'm like a 6-year-old and I don't belong. I don't belong in this family. I don't belong to this religion. Like, what am I going to do? I have to figure it all out. Then comes all of those energies. So every time you perceive that energy coming through, I want you to be able to track it back and say, right, what was the first thing that happened to make me believe or have this point of view that I don't belong? And who did I become? How did I start behaving? What's the energy that got activated? So these are questions that we're not going to have time to go through, but these are exercises you can do in your own time. So what happened? Who did I start becoming? And where am I still playing that exact scenario, that exact energy? Am I being that with money? I don't belong in the world because I don't know how to do money. I don't belong in the world because guess what? Like, I never get invited to things. These little dances play out everywhere until you identify what they are and we actually start to change it, not just on a cellular level, on a molecular level, but on the level of your being. So having a look at that will actually create more light. And it's identifying that elephant in the room. It's like, the elephant's been sat there for all this time and you're kind of like, I don't really know why I'm not getting oneness. And it's like, well, all this is going on. You're doing so many dances. No wonder there's no clarity. So the awareness of that. And the third one we talked about was, I'm all alone. How old were you? What was happening? What triggered that? What point of view has you still relate to you as I'm all alone? What's the evidence you've been collecting? What are the relationships you created to prove that over and over and over again? And how much are you still proving that? So this is all still looking at the space of those 3 dances that you picked up. Does that help everybody? I just want a little bit of a nod or something. Did that give you some clarity around just really starting to start picking at what started and where it started and what you can start doing with it?
Absolutely.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yes.
Did anybody have anything to add to this at all or anything coming up? Yeah, Kate said it's pulling it all together. Yeah, because the one thing I notice about me is like the awareness is great. And oftentimes we get so much awareness and it's so intense. But if you don't know how to extrapolate it and put this information in spaces where you can start to untangle it and you can start to become the energy that is maneuvering this, that is changing this, you're actually taking your life and getting into that driver's seat and driving. But if you've got 10 million gazillion Siris talking to you at the same time, how do you know which way to turn? So the first thing first is getting aware and then breaking that awareness down into the spaces where you're like, oh, I have an understanding of myself. I have an understanding of where this came from. I can see why I behave this way. I can see why I'm having these interactions. So to get some clarity around it. And cool. So I think that gives you guys some play work to actually start doing and being with. Awesome. So let's do a little bit of an activity, I think, where you guys can see real life shift. Like, how can you shift one of these points of views? We're not going to try and do all of them because there's gazillions and gazillions and gazillions of them. We're going to try and do one. Okay. Are you all game to play? And in the 3-part call, we'll be going into this deeper and we'll have more time to like really explore this. So some of you guys may have already done activities like this before, but I just wanted to show you one way you can start shifting the energy of something that's really stuck and really stagnant. Okay. So you might want to just relax and perceive your body as it is. Your body will also be perceiving this dance, and all 3 of those that we just talked about will be hitting your body in different places. So there's also like a link with not just your points of views that got created age 2, age 6, age 12, but also there's different parts in your body that also start to become painful, or there's things that get activated that are also related to those emotions, to that energy, get stuck there. So I really want to talk about how to shift some of this. And I just want to say welcome to everybody else who's just joined us. Thank you so much. You just started. We're just about to do an energy exercise to have a look at breaking down a little piece of this dance so you can start to have more space. Because the only thing about dancing with the devil is, did any of you guys choose that? I know we say we chose it, right? But did you truly choose that from a space of consciousness? Or was it a lot of points of views, a lot of conclusions, a lot of projections, belief patterns, limitations that were bestowed on you? That's not choosing your dance. That's being at the effect of the dance. That's being the puppet of the dance. That's being maneuvered in the way the world wants you to be, because you're still trying to work out what's wrong, how do I belong, and why am I all alone? And with that going on, there is no choosing of your dance. There's no empowerment in that. Cool. So tap into your bodies the way they are right now. And just become aware of what's already started to shift and what's started to become awakened, and all the things that you've put in place to keep that there. Because although the dance is not the dance you want to be dancing, it's a comfortable dance. It's a known dance. And now let's go back. Let's go back to the age of 2. Some of you guys, it might be earlier. That very first moment, you became aware something is wrong. Some of you guys might be able to perceive this as an energy, and some of you guys might be able to see this as a vision, and some of you guys might not feel anything, but just go with it. So this 2-year-old, perceive her or him, and just get a glimpse of what's just happened. There might be words, there might be energies, there might be just pain or intensity in your body, but what just happened to this 2-year-old that activated this point of view that something is wrong, and therefore something is right? Awesome. Just be with that energy. I want you now to be able to walk up to the 2-year-old, and the 2-year-old knows that you are her or you are him, and there's a trust, and there's a knowing, there's an acknowledgement, and there's a receiving between the both of you. In your mind's eye or in your space, bend down and embrace this 2-year-old. And from this space, from the consciousness that you be today, talk to your 2-year-old and let this 2-year-old know what just happened is nothing to do with right and nothing to do with wrong. What does your 2-year-old need to hear at this time? What are the words you can tell the 2-year-old? Would you just embrace the 2-year-old and deliver the energy, the intense energy of oneness, possibility, to question everything, to have the awareness, the infinite awareness, space, and consciousness this 2-year-old is. Expand her space, his space out. And as you're with the 2-year-old, whisper any words to unlock this cycle of abuse that's just about to get started. There is no right, there is no wrong. Let your 2-year-old know how special she or he is. Maybe even deliver some of the superpowers. And from that, let's be the energy of the potency, of the consciousness, of the space. Without the wrong, without the right, without the polarity that got created. And expand that throughout your entire timeline. So everything that was created from the judgment of right and wrong is now erased. Expanding it out. Let's start to ask a question. What would I choose? What would I choose from an infinite space? What would I choose if there was no right or wrong? What would I choose if everything was possible? And see how long you can stay there. And if you find yourself going back to the right or wrong, I suggest going back to the 2-year-old until you start to unlock the pattern that got created. Awesome. So just some feedback. What shifted for you guys? Anything, everything, nothing, something, awareness? You can unmute if you want to.
I gave my little self permission to be magic, to pretend, to play, to not get sucked into everything. And I gave her permission to pretend that she was going along with what they're saying and just do magic and hide and just make everything fun and games because she was scared. And so I said, be your magic. Here are some powers. Here are some abilities. Have as much fun as you can have. And she seemed pretty excited about that.
That's awesome. Did anybody else have a shift in that? I think you're all so quiet. I'm like, is anybody going to speak to Manjeet? Something's wrong now. I've got to go back to my 2-year-old and do this all again. No, I'm joking. That's awesome. So that's just like one timeline activity. Kate's just put, it's hard to explain, but there was a shift. And that's the beautiful thing about these things. Like, just like you shifted the molecules into knowing something was right and knowing something was wrong, it's going to be exactly the same as to you just turn the molecule the other way. That's pretty much what we just started to do. So I want to read you guys just a little paragraph of what had me look at this way of shifting things. So if a molecule is left alone, so we're all made of molecules, by the way. If a molecule is left alone, it will maintain the consistency of its structure. Science tells us that if we as beings look at a molecule, we just look at it, observe it, perceive it, we will change it by the virtue of observing it. That's because we are an energy that is a contribution, and we are a catalyst to changing the way it looks and the way it functions. We need to recognize that we have the level of power, that level of power, and learn how to use it. We are also the source for what catalyzes the molecular structure of things. I'm going to read that again. We are the source for what catalyzes the molecular structure of things. So every single thing, all of this dance with the devil, this dance we have going on, these moments and elements in your life has a molecular structure made up of energy. And just reading that one paragraph, by you shining light on it and you observing it, you being with it, is enough to change it. Now that's what gets me very, very, very excited. And today we've had a look at how you can start becoming aware of some of those dances, aware of some of those stories, aware of some of those energies. And one way we looked at it was, that was just one way to look at an energy, was to go back and perceive it and be with your 2-year-old. Identify where it started. It was just one way. So how exciting is it knowing that once you know that you have the power to be able to change something by just observing a molecule, what could you create? But it's knowing how to use it and having those skills and having those tools and having those activities to start unlocking it. Because that's the work. That's the beauty of this work, is to start to catalyze what you want to be choosing, the dance you want to be dancing, the possibilities that are actually available for you when you're not dancing those dances, those unconscious, salsa moves, those unconscious, cha-cha moves, whatever's going on, all of those things, when they're no longer ruling or running your life, you have the ability to choose a dance. And you don't have to dance with the devil unless you really want to. You can dance with anybody you want and anything you want. So that was my introduction. It was a free taster. I wanted to give you guys a bit of a snippet of what we're going to deep dive into during our 3-part call, which is starting next week. There's tons and tons of questions that I have for you guys. There's so many tools that I want to give you guys. I want to be able to give you a range of different, one is awareness and shining light on where you're dancing. And 2, I really want to give you, just like the activity, that was just one, I want to give you a handful of those so you can start really applying it to your life and start to have the space and function as the space, function as a possibility that creates the change, not only for you, but for the rest of the planet. Yeah, and one clearing I want to leave you guys with as well is, what have you made so vital, valuable, and real about never putting... Can we just mute you, please, Sherry? Sorry. I'm just going to read this clearing for you guys. So what have you made so vital, valuable, and real about never possessing the phenomenons of your reality, of your dance, that keeps you a slave and a servant and a subject of dancing with the devil? And anything and everything that is times a godzillion, will you destroy and create it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all 9, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And that, folks, was the Access Consciousness Clearing Statement. For anybody who doesn't know that, you need to go to www.theclearingstatement.com and you've got a whole bunch of stuff to read about it. So I'll read that one again just before we finish. What have you made so vital, valuable, and real about never possessing the phenomenons of your reality that keeps you a slave and a servant and a subject of dancing with the devil? And everything and anything that is times a godzillion, will you destroy and create it? Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all 9, shorts, boys, and beyonds. So I invite you guys to come and play. We're doing a 3-part series on dancing with the devil. And in that call, we're going to do lots of awareness exercises, lots of shifting the energy exercises. And what I would truly, truly actually like to invite you guys to is the dance and the phenomenons of living as the potency of you. There is a potency and a magic that's been sitting and dwelling and activating and rippling through our beings for centuries and trillions and trillions and trillions of years that really desires to be awakened. And that is the invitation I'd like to get us to. But without the awareness and without knowing your dance and eliminating the dance, that just kind of sits there tickling you all the time, but never getting activated to the full capacity it desires to be. So We're going to post you a link. We'll send you an email. So look out for that with all the information to follow. We start next week, and it's going to be Saturday. I'll let Cherry share the dates with us because she's got them written down. But before we do that, does anybody have any questions about Dancing with the Devil? Information about the call, information about, or even just anything to do with today? How was that for you guys? We've got so many quiet people today. I normally always have loud. Thank you, Joyanne. And I think Joanne and I have touched on, the sense of the peace, the tranquility, the nurturing, the kindness, the calm, the space that's actually available beyond this dance. Like, that's truly what my invitation is, even as we're talking about this. Alexander said, it's hard to explain. Yeah, it truly is. A lot of us function without words. And even what we've just put words to, I want to say it's taken probably 30 odd years of my life being able to put words into those 3 specific moments in my life. It's like, oh, I can really break it right down. But we're just aware of a lot of energies. Okay, well, I'm grateful. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, beautiful.
Hi. I was being quiet so someone else would talk. You know me, I'll talk.
I know. What were you trying to do? Were you trying to
Oh, no, I've actually been a bit distracted. I've had people dropping things off and phone calls and so forth, so I haven't been totally here. But I do, I know for me that it's like the last little vestibules of, is that the word?
That's a word. I don't know what it means, but I know what it means.
Of where I function from in my life every day. And since you and I had that little chat that day, I have recognised it just everywhere. All these, and they're only little subtle things until you realise where you're functioning from and what you're creating by still doing them. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm in. I can't wait.
Yeah. And it's the addiction to them as well. Like, and we'll talk more about that on the call, like the actual addiction your body has, like your cells have a magnetic attraction to it almost. And it's like, even that, it's so insidious. This is why we'll touch what we can. I'll do my best. I'll deliver the energies in the way that I possibly can. But at the same time, it's like, how do we now start to shift it? I'll send out the link, Jennifer, in the email for the registration page. But yeah, we start next Friday and I'm so excited to see what we're going to create. And you're right, Joyanne, it truly is an energy that's ready to shift on the planet. For most of us who are asking for that, I think we're just over it. I don't know about you guys, just over it. Even that's a dance with the devil. I'm over it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Could you please post that when you send the email, put that clearing on there?
Yeah. Will do. Yeah. Will do. And I know we only did the activity with the 2-year-old, but you guys can do that timeline activity at any age. Like, when you start to spot, like, okay, so this is what happened when I realized I didn't belong, go back and nurture that. Because truly, I don't know about you guys, but when I don't feel like I belong, I know that I'm a 5-year-old. There is no talking to me like an adult in that moment. I am that 5-year-old. And it's almost like somebody needs to talk to me like a 5-year-old, because that's what gets activated. It's just all of that. It's the age that you end up becoming without even realizing, and your body starts to perceive that. But the gift of that is, I truly think it comes up over and over and over again, because it's time, it's consciousness knocking, saying, this isn't you. There's a space here. This is a possibility knocking on your door. It's not a problem. So I love that. Thank you, Jennifer, for posting the link everywhere. I adore you guys. I am so grateful for you. I'm grateful for your presence. I'm grateful for your demand of having and choosing a greater possibility. And the world that I'm in at the moment, just as a snapshot, I just want to say how courageous and brave you all are. Whether you guys have billions of dollars on billions of dollars or the perfect relationship, truly, like, I really want to acknowledge how brave you all are. And I want to acknowledge how grateful I am for for the possibilities and the choices you guys have and are willing to go for that. Most people, I'll tell you this, 99% of people do not have the courage to look at that. And the more people I meet, the more I'm just like, wow. So grateful for you guys. So grateful for your honesty, for showing up with no barriers and the willingness to receive. It truly is a gift in the world. It truly is a gift on the planet. And keep being you and keep choosing that. I adore you guys. I really do. I feel so far away right now. I'm like, Kate's there and Joyanne's there and Audrey's there. Oh. You're lovely too. All right, Cherry, do you want to give everybody the dates before we wrap up? Otherwise, I can keep talking to you guys forever. You know me.
Okay.
Yes, I can. Okay, so call number 1 is June 7th at 4 p.m. PST, and it is June 8th at 9 a.m. Brisbane time. Call number 2 is June 14th, and that would be June 13th at 9 a.m. Brisbane time. Call number 3 is June 21st, and that is June, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. It's June 15th at 9 a.m. Brisbane time. And call number 3 is June 21st, PST, 4 p.m. And that would be June 22nd, 9 a.m. Brisbane time. And also there are 2 bonuses for everyone who decides to join us. Bonus number 1 is a special Q&A call, which will be a follow-up call on July 5th. So we get to go over what everyone's experiencing, and oh my God, I can't wait for that. And bonus number 2 is the kindness cure call that Manjeet did, which showed me that kindness is a superpower. So I'm really excited, and thank you so much, Manjeet, for doing this. And we are going to get the registration link, which will also be in the email, which everyone will receive. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming and joining us in getting our personal blueprint for our Dance with the Devil. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. I love you all. Thank you so much. And if anybody else you feel would, benefit from listening to this call, please feel free to pass it on. I love you guys.
Yay.
Thank you, Manjeet.
Bye. Thank you, darling.
Bye. Thank you,
Bye.
Cherie.
See ya. Thanks, Cherie.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Audrey.